Okay, so I'll be showing you how to set your timers on the Easiwise Geyser controller. We'll start with the first timer of the day, which would be your morning weekday timer. So, for example, if you'd like to shower at 6:30 in the morning, by default we'd recommend that your electricity be on for 2 hours, meaning that timer 1 should start at 4:30. So to get into the timer settings, we will press down on the down button. Before I do that, you notice the red light is on. I'm going to push the down button. The red light has gone off. As soon as the red light goes back on, you let go. And you can see now timer 1 starts at 4:30 by default. So that's fine. We're going to push enter to move to the next digit, which is the 30 and 4:30, which we'll leave. Now we're going to go to the off settings. Like I said, we'd have the electricity on for 2 hours, so 6:30 would be correct. It's on 6:30. We push enter. Push enter. 55 degrees is the recommended temperature for hot water. You can, of course, change that down or up more than 55, but we're going to leave it on 55. Second timer, this will be your evening timer. So for example, if we'd like to shower at 6 o'clock, we'd like the electricity to go on at 4 o'clock, which it's set to now. So we're just going to push enter. Enter. This is your off timer at 6, which is correct, is when you want the hot water. Enter. Enter. Temperature is correct. We're going to leave it at 55. Push enter. Now we're on timer 3. If you want a third timer in the week, which is not what a lot of people do like, we'll just leave those parameters at 0, which means we won't have a third timer in the week. Push enter. 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 Then we have a fourth timer in the week, which is highly unlikely anyone would use. We'd leave that at 0, 0, 0. Okay, timer 5 would then be your weekend timer. The reason why we have weekend timers is just to accommodate people's showering habits when they're not working, which would basically mean you'd most likely be showering later in the morning. So let's say we're showering at 9 o'clock on a Saturday and a Sunday morning. We would have the electricity on for 2 hours, so we would naturally start the timer at 7 o'clock. So we're just going to push down. Sorry. Down to 7. Enter. Enter. Now your morning weekend timer off. We said 9 o'clock. So we go down to 9. Enter. Temperatures at 55, which we want. You can obviously manipulate that, as I showed you earlier on. Now this is your evening timer on the weekends. Probably stay the same as your evening timers in the week. So let's just say you want hot water at 6 o'clock, which would mean your electricity would kick in at 4 o'clock, which is correct. So we're going to leave that at 16. Push enter. We're not going to change those zeros. Push enter. Your off time would be 6. It's 18, which it's flashing on now, which is correct. We're going to push enter. Temperature's right, 55. Push enter. Now you're on your 7th timer, which we're going to ignore because you're not going to have more than 2 timers in the day on the weekend either. So the parameters will always be set to 0. Zeros. When you see temperature and you have 0 timers, you could ignore it because the temperature is not going to influence anything if your timer is set to 0. So you can just leave temperature whatever it is. 8 timer you're going to ignore because you won't use that on the weekend. Just make sure those parameters are 0. And your 8th timer is actually your last timer, so we'll just move through that. Ignore, enter, and there we go. That's how you set timers for the Easiwise.